Happy Thursday, Titans. My name is Jennifer Wheeler, Project Manager in the Dean of Students Office, and I'm happy to be here. Today, we're going to be talking about self-care. I'm joined by a few staff members from DIRC, which is the Diversity Initiatives and Resource Centers, and I'm really excited about our topic today. Really, our goal here is just to have a casual and informal conversation about what we're personally doing to show ourselves love and compassion lately. Now, before we dive into that conversation, I am aware that some of you may not be familiar with DIRC, so I would like to invite the director to spend a few minutes introducing herself and giving us a brief overview of the department.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, Titans. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Sophie Leon. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as the director for DIRC, Diversity Initiatives and Resource Centers. I'm excited to be here with all of you and to get to introduce the team. So I'll tell you a little bit about DIRC first. So our mission in DIRC is to support students by building communities that foster a sense of belonging, create opportunities to engage in self-discovery and critical inquiry, and serve as a hub for resources in inclusive and affirming spaces. We create engagement opportunities that empower, educate, and activate students in the areas of social justice, equity, and anti-racism. So DIRC is home to 5 identity-based centers on campus: the African American Resource Center, the Asian Pacific American Resource Center, the Latinx Community Resource Center, our LGBT Queer Resource Center, and our Titan Dreamers Resource Center. So you'll get to meet staff from all of those areas, and we will start off right now with Terrell. Terrell, you want to intro yourself?
What up, what up, what up, what up? Terrell Forey, pronouns he, him, his, and I'm the coordinator of the African American Resource Center.
Thank you, Terrell. And Monique.
Hi, everybody. My name is Monique, and I am the grad student assistant for the African American Resource Center.
Thanks, Monique. Let's go to Tia.
Hey everyone, my name is Tia Chia. My pronouns are she and her. I am the coordinator for the Asian Pacific American Resource Center.
Thank you, Tia. Ariana?
Hello, Titans. My name is Ariana Moramero. I use she, her, ella pronouns, and I'm the coordinator of our Latinx Community Resource Center.
Thanks, Ariana. Nat?
Hi folks, my name is Nat Betancourt Ariano. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the coordinator for the LGBT Queer Resource Center here on campus.
Thanks, Nat. And let's go to Nate.
Everyone, my name is Nate Nguyen. I use he, him pronouns. I am the coordinator for DIRC.
And last but certainly not least, Jimmy.
Hi folks, my name is Jimmy Nguyen. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am the graduate student assistant at the Diversity Initiatives and Resource Centers.
Thank you, everyone. So that's a little intro to some of the members of our team, a lot of the members of our team.
Thank you all. Thank you for those lovely introductions. So let's get into it. Let's talk self-care. So for me, I've always thought it's a really interesting topic because everyone's interpretation and idea of self-care is really different. And it should be, right? What makes me feel good might not be the same thing that makes you feel good. So it's different. And now we'll just be sharing some of our favorite ways that we're taking care of ourselves in hopes that it may spark an idea for some of you all. I also want to say that self-care can be really fun, but sometimes it's not fun. And what I mean by that is it's not always face mask and bubble baths. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's doing those hard things that might not feel so good in the moment, but you know are going to set you up to feel better in the long run. So that said, for me personally, taking care of my physical self is my #1 priority when it comes to self-care. I find that when I feel my best physically, it helps support my mental and emotional health as well, which is awesome. So some of my favorite self-practices lately have been getting enough sleep and eating a balanced diet. When I have these two on lock, I feel like I'm really able to show up as my best self, and it makes tackling other issues in my life a lot more manageable. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, but there's just so much out of control in my life right now. And so focusing on these two things that I know personally I have the means to control has been really helpful for me lately. I'll go ahead and open it up so that you all can share.
Jump in, Jennifer. I can start. So you all might have heard my dog shaking around while we were doing intros. My dog Lisa Frank, who lots of folks are familiar with. One of the ways that I engage in self-care is to make sure I'm intentionally taking breaks during the day, especially during the workday. So sometimes that means that I'll actually, block out time in my calendar. It'll say that I'm not available. And often during that time, I'm taking Lisa for a walk around the block, or just trying to, get some time away from Zoom. The other thing that does help, Jennifer, you kind of mentioned, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. I do find that when I am able to get some physical activity, I feel a lot better. So I by no means have a home gym set up or anything like that. So I definitely rely on, free YouTube videos, stuff that I can do in my living room. And I notice that when I get in 30 minutes or something like that, I definitely feel a lot better.
I can jump in and share as well. So I found that my mental health has been so important, and really trying to take this time, especially in a pandemic that I'm at home all the time, really trying to focus on how am I being kind to myself, how am I being self-compassionate. And so I've started going to therapy. I go to therapy twice a week, individual and group therapy, which has been really helpful and to help just really build my own coping skills, and feel better about myself, the work that I do, and really just taking care of myself and loving myself in a way that I never previously had before. And so that's always been something that I've really been able to work on and practice in this year. But the fun things that I like to do is also playing video games. Love video games. Just sit there all day long if I could, and just play things like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, sometimes some Call of Duty, and that's really a nice kind of distraction as well for me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna follow that because I'm a big video game person myself. Video games for sure is a way. I just love a lot of tech stuff and gaming systems and all that. So playing video games for sure. But for me also, being this pandemic, we've been on screens a lot, and so one of the things that I've started doing a lot more is before I start work or anything is I need an hour of music. I need an hour of music, not looking at my phone, not doing anything. I have these big old speakers behind me. My neighbors hate me, I'm sure, but I'm playing music loud in the morning while I'm making breakfast or just vibing because and that for me just helps sets the mood. Whether it's calming music or it's helping me get hyped for the day, music is my form of therapy for sure.
I can jump in. Oh, wait, you want to go, Nate?
Go ahead, Monique.
I was gonna say because Terrell mentioned music, and I was like, well, I'll listen to music sometimes, but podcasts I'll put on in the morning to kind of get my day started. And I don't know, it's just very calming. It's like listening to like two cousins or some best friends you never met before. It's really nice. And then when it comes to, I know Jennifer mentioned things that you don't necessarily like to do, maybe self care, going to sleep early. I try to go to sleep before 10, even though I don't have to be anywhere until like 9. But I know that when I go to sleep early, I feel so much more refreshed and ready for the day. So those are my two things.
That's a really good point, Monique, because I totally can relate to having routines in my life. And that's one of those boring self-care things that I've also learned from my therapist, who I see every 3 weeks, right? So learning to just having a little bit of routine in my life, because this pandemic has thrown all of us into so much chaos, that having just a little bit of routine makes me feel like I have a little bit of control over my life. So when I go to sleep, when I take my breaks, when I go out and check on my plants, things like that, having little routines have been really good self-care practice for me. I think just being kind to myself, reminding myself that, I am doing my best, and recognizing my small accomplishment every day, that I've been able to do this, I've been able to check up on people, I've been able to like eat lunch at the right time. So just small accomplishments and recognizing those. And I think those for me are good self-care practices.
I can go next. So like Sophie, I also have a dog, and she's like the love of my life. I take her to like social distance hiking, dog beaches, anything that makes her happy makes me happy. And I also, like Monique, I also listen to podcasts in the morning. So I've been listening to The Daily by the New York Times, and trying to see what's going on in the world and still be engaged. And what else? Yeah, I think just and watching Disney Plus. So like was watching The Mandalorian, and now that it's finished, we're like focusing on WandaVision, and so that's something to look forward to every single Friday. And so, yeah, those little things helps.
I can go next. Yeah, piggybacking off of what everyone else said, non-screen time is so good. So I have this guy. Let me see if I can get him. My little buddy. This is my dog, Wally. He forces me to take time away from my computer because literally he cries and whines and moans until I go outside into my hallway and chase him down the stairs, because apparently that's what we do now. And then he just stands there and looks at me. He doesn't even want to go, to the bathroom or anything. He just cries. So we do that at least 5 times a day. So that gets me moving and off the screen, which is really nice. And then every day my partner and I have like a certain time where like no more work, no more emails, no more nothing related to professional life, and we just watch a movie and have dinner. So it's nice to have that routine every day to look forward to after a long day of work.
I think for me, similar to what Nate mentioned about taking care of plants, I really appreciate activities that remind me to take care of myself. So 2 of those things have been taking care of my plants, because when I water them, I'm like, dang, I should probably be drinking some water too. And as I'm tending to them too, like making sure that they're having sun, I'm like, I probably need sun too. So that's been a good reminder to take care of myself. And then lastly, more of a fun thing that I like to do, it's fun for me at least, is skincare. I really love a full daytime and nighttime routine. Really into Korean products and getting them for cheap online. So that always brings me a lot of joy in just doing like a full skincare routine. Talking about sunscreen with other people and why y'all should be using it. Make sure you put on sunscreen, even if you're inside. So that's been giving me a lot of joy and reminding me that I do need to be taking care of myself in more ways than just one.
I think that was everyone. So thank you all so much for sharing. I have been loving skincare too. That's one of my fun ways that I like to prioritize myself and just like get a routine in there. So I can totally relate to that, especially the Korean brands. Been really diving deep into those, and big fan of sunscreen. So relate there. Thank you all for sharing again. I appreciate you being here and being vulnerable and honest. I know I got a lot of ideas from what you were sharing, so I'm hoping our Titans did as well. Really quick before I close this off, I also wanted to recognize that a form of self-care is building a community or having a community, people that can support you. And I think that's something that DIRC is really good at, is building those communities. So before we close off, I wanted to ask if any of you have any upcoming events that you'd like to promote to our students.
I can go. Yeah, we have Titan Night Market coming up in March. We securing our headliner and getting our students' organizations to submit their cultural performances. And so mark your calendar for Thursday, March 18th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be on YouTube Live. So we're really excited. We'll have like giveaways and performances and everything. So we're really excited for Titan Night Market.
Yeah, and the QRC, in collaboration with Rainbow House and the College of Health and Human Development, is going to be having our spring drag show. It's called the Impact and Inspiration of Drag. And we're going to be having a panel of our local drag queens talking about how they came into drag, their femme inspirations, and the impact that it has on our larger LGBTQ community. And so that'll be on March 24th from 6 to 8. So look out for the flyers, Zoom links, and we hope that we'll see you there.
So during the same week of Titan Night Market, our campus is celebrating Social Justice Week. So this is a campus-wide event. So there are activities and programs for both students, faculty, and staff. And so we have a lot of student organizations who are putting together programming around social justice topics. So we encourage you all to keep an eye out for more information to come soon. We also have an inclusive leadership program that happens every
Awesome. Thank you all. Anything else before we end it?
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of programs coming up. Let's see. In March, we got first off our Navigating Your Blackness in a Workplace collaboration with Business Career Services and Alumni Engagement. That's taking place March 4th. We got part 2 of our workshop Black Enable collaboration with Disability Support Services and CAPS. That's taking place March 8th. We got second installment this spring of our Critical Consciousness series focusing on prison abolition, taking place March 16th. We got our second Diaspora Dialogue focusing on Dr. Maya Williams' fame. That's taking place March 24th. And lastly, we have our Food, Deserts, and Swamps program taking place March 25th, which is shaping out to be really dope, really dope.
Awesome. Okay, Titans, there's a lot going on. So make sure you follow Nate's advice, follow Dirk on Instagram. You'll have the full list of events. I'm sure there's even more to come. You know, we're only, halfway, not even through the semester. So make sure you're checking it out. Thank you all again for sharing. And thank you, Titans, for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye.